This week on Moulz Mel at the movies, is this a fucking movie or what? Well, let's just say this week we watched the 1998 film Streets is Watching, starring Jay-Z and Damon Dash. Music videos. It's The Rock. Welcome
an
back
intro
to,
fitting of the film.
welcome
we can
back
call
to
it that.
Moulz Mel at the movies. If this is a movie,
Listen, we treated that intro with the same amount of respect that the film treated us with. Okay, this is a music video compilation. This is not a movie.
I mean,
If you call a bunch of music videos with scattered, as Mel used to say, vignettes between, it's vignettes, then I guess this is a movie. But
I want to just apologize to Mac and Devin go to high school for saying it's not a movie. You were very much a movie, actually.
you're a freaking Oscar award-winning film compared to this. Okay,
I'm just going to get this one out of the way. 6-.
Wow. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not too far off. 6+.
Okay. All right. So, hey, listen. For what it's worth, it did score higher on the Moulz and Mel at the movies weighted rating than Judgment Night and Mac and Devin.
Yes.
But,
and they're asking, though, they're like, you sound disgusted with this thing. And it's like, well, yeah, as a movie, yes.
yes.
But, gotta account for the content. And its saving grace is that the songs are mostly good. I like these songs,
So if we could just go to the chapter selection here on the DVD.
Oh, you got that ISO loaded up?
I don't actually. I should have just done
you
that.
got the actual DVD and you looking at a TV right now?
No, not that either. I was just looking. I'm just loading up the ISO. You're right. That was stupid. I was looking in the DMs. Because I think I sent the screen
I thought
grab.
you were just trying to avoid the feds when you denied it.
Okay. All right. So we got Where I'm From, Friend or Foe 98, Streets is Watching, Midnight Ecstasy, which is basically a porn interlude.
Yeah. Oh, they actually, I didn't even check. They made that its own chapter.
Yes. Face Off, Imaginary Player, You Must
Classic.
Love Me, In My Lifetime, Big Jazz Remix, I Can't Get With That, which is pre-Reasonable Doubt, Dead Presidents, the one from pre-Reasonable Doubt, and the original In My Lifetime, and then the end credits.
So none of the chapter selects include any of the vignettes.
No,
like
because,
the actual movie.
Because I feel like if you
really?
totaled up all the length of the vignettes, it would maybe equal 5 to 10 minutes at most. Yeah, so let's just put it out there that this is a bunch of those videos that I just named with little vignettes in between to sort of thread them, but not really. It's not really a story being told necessarily. And spoiler, even though there's really nothing to spoil, 35 minutes into this hour-long film, it just switches to Dame Dash doing audio commentary over old Jay-Z videos and completely forgetting about the fact that there is a film supposed to be in between each video. So, I mean, I didn't know this going in, but this isn't an actual movie, more so than a music video compilation with some very loose threading in between half of the videos. Whereas the other half, you just randomly get audio commentary from Damon Dash, who He's entertaining. And that's
entertaining in a way that it's like, this is absurd. I'm like,
yeah,
because the first time he does it, I think it's just going to be like an intermission. Like he's just going to pop up, do this video, and then they'll go back to the vignettes and music videos. But then he comes, like they come back from the first video and he starts talking again. And I'm like, oh, this is it? Like this is the rest of the movie?
Over.
And I'm just like,
there's no more movie.
Okay. Like,
that's it.
That's it.
So, there's no more movie. The saving grace of this thing and why, because if I'm judging it as a movie, it's like definitely a 4 or lower.
Well, it's not a good movie. For what it's worth, like the small vignettes are of varying quality. None of them are great. None of them are like out. In fact, there's one that's like a 4. Like it's irritating to me. I think it's the last one. It's the one that the movie like ends on.
Okay, when they're all outside.
Yeah. And like it's just noise to me. It's
that
like
one,
you got
that one goes on for way too long compared to all the other ones.
It was the weakest one.
And it's definitely the weakest one, and it's the most drawn out of all of them. But
yeah.
As a movie, I mean, like even, we'll be doing this later on in the season, something like Kill a Season, which is extremely low budget and DIY.
Better movie.
Mac and Devin, better movie. However,
right. This is not a movie.
I think I've talked about this on the show before randomly, but the movie La La Land is one of the most visually pleasing films of the last few years. The choreography, the set design, the cinematography, the lighting, it's perfect. Except I don't like the songs. So that's like, for a musical, that's not a great thing, because there are musicals that I'd say are like, from a technique point of view, are less impressive than La La Land, but I like the music better. And that can take you very far. So because I'm a fan of like 90% of these Jay songs, I'm fine with watching an hour of Jay-Z videos. I just feel like I'm, on the other hand, as a film person, I'm a little insulted that this is being marketed as a film. This isn't a film. This is a music video anthology, which is fine, but let's just market it that way instead.
Like, I gotta say this, though. I gotta say this because, I'm watching this thing, and when they're not showing music videos, it's usually just like little skits with Jay and Dame. And as I'm watching, I'm like, you know what? With some good writing, I think this could have been something, because at least to me, Jay and Dame kind of have good comedic presence. And
Jay in general has
like real presence.
He has a very dry wit in real life.
Yes.
And he has a really innate sense of comedic timing. So there are moments where like he'll look at Dame and say something, and I'll crack up. It's funny. But it's like almost like if this was in the hands of someone more competent, I could see them pulling a lot more out of Jay and Dame. Like, that's the funny thing about this movie, is that the acting at points, at least from Jay and Dame, isn't bad. Doesn't feel good. Like stilted, really. It feels natural.
I think like their natural friendship comes across well on the screen. Like, when Dame is like, ribbing him like, you fake ass rapper, and Jay's like, yeah, whatever, stay out my videos.
All they feel like, though, are unreleased Jay-Z skits.
Yeah, basically. Right.
Like, even, they could have been on albums. Shows up. And
listen, when he shows up at the beginning, I thought, wait a minute, am I going to like this movie? I'm a big Pain in the Ass fan.
But that's the thing. It's just like,
Jay season.
It's almost like they're just giving us interludes that, like, didn't make these albums.
Right.
So, I don't know. To me, like, it's almost like seeing the skits you'd hear on albums visualized. More so than a story is being told with, there's, like, protagonist, antagonist. There's a story goal. They're moving towards the goal. None of that is happening. It's just, like, incidents taking place, like the Friend or Foe guys.
Well, right. That's the closest thing you get to, like, a narrative. And what's funny about that is they shoot 2 videos, like for the original Friend or Foe. This is like one of my favorite parts in the quote movie. They do the video for Friend or Foe, and then there's like a brief intermission, and then they do Friend or Foe 98.
Yeah,
and
that's to me that was the best run of within the context of it being a movie, quote unquote.
Right,
that was the best.
It was, but what makes it funny to me is that, like in the movie, they say like what was like 5 weeks later or something like that. But in like as we're watching it, it hasn't even been like a minute, you know. And so when he comes back on Friend or Foe 98, he's like, "Yeah, remember me?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was like 45 seconds ago." Like, they play the videos like back to back, so it's very funny when he's like,
"It does feel like the videos are almost coming." This would feel like a musical to me if there was more space between the musical numbers, but it doesn't feel like these are musical numbers. It feels like these are music videos. And then, I mean, the decision to just abandon any semblance of a storyline whatsoever and just turn it into a music video audio commentary situation is an odd choice. There's nothing that particularly signals this change. It just happens. And I mean, last week I called cap on people saying that Judgment Night is one of the greatest hip hop soundtracks of all time. I'm like, all right, well, you must not have listened to it then. I gotta say, I'm calling cap on anyone who's saying this is one of the best hip hop movies of all time.
Y'all wildin'.
This is not a hip hop movie. Like, to compare this to any hip hop movie we're doing this season is like Kill a Season down to Hustle and Flow to, you know, the biopics like a Get Rich or Die Trying or a 8 Mile sort of deal. Like, I mean, this is not one of the best rap movies because it's not a movie. You could say, hey, it's my favorite video anthology, which, like, all right, that's your thing. Go for it. Like, you know,
it's kind of like, you ever seen that Outkast DVD?
I have. It's like Outkast the videos.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I used to watch that thing.
Yeah, but they weren't like, yo, this is Outkast made a movie.
Right. They weren't like it's a movie. They weren't like, you know, like when they made a movie, they made an actual movie.
They made a real fucking musical movie, like in a period piece at that. I mean, that's a better rap movie than this. This isn't a movie. This is a video anthology. So you want to rank this?
I kind of shouldn't promote this because it's terrible. We were just starting out. But if you're wondering why, like, of all the things for you to do this season, why not Outkast Idlewild? Was this a legitimate movie and legitimate soundtrack? We already did it. Season 0. Very first episode of this show, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it's season 0. I don't recommend you go listen to it. It's awful.
The audio quality is not as good as this. But if you want to know, it's there. You know, not the movie review. We talk about it briefly.
Season 0, if you've never heard it, Twista and MF Doom are like the 2 episodes you'd want to start on. Or like
no, 4 is good too.
Okay, I'm saying like the back half is 10 episodes. Like 1 through 5 might be trash, but like 6 through 10 are money.
You know, that's when we started figuring things out. But yeah, this is.
I don't know if they're money; they're decent, but yeah, this is not a movie, guys. So like, if you want to talk about the Outkast, the videos, or Tribe Called Quest video anthology and stuff like that, let's talk about this in the context of that. Because I mean, as a time capsule, watching Jay early on doing doing videos from 95, 96, 97, 98, like, yeah, let's go for it. Like, I want to see that. But, you know, and it's I know people that just watch the old Wu-Tang videos religiously because they love the style, like the polos.
Listen, we've all had those days where we go on YouTube and just start watching videos. You know,
and I
don't know about I can't speak for y'all, but you know, I go on a music video wormhole every now and then. That's what this felt like, but just against my will.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like
I was
watching.
Being served up videos on like Vivo one after another,
right? On
like autoplay, and I'm just like not changing the channel for some reason or not clicking something else. Right. And I'm not mad because, like I said, I like the music. Now these videos, from a production standpoint, you know, some of them are better than others. I mean, you know, again, as a time capsule, it's interesting. But, like, you know, these videos aren't touching, like, Busta Rhymes videos from the time period.
Oh, no. They're mostly just Jay rapping in front of a camera, you know, for the most part. You might have like him in a funny outfit, like, yeah, it's like a outfit. He's I forget the video. I think it was I don't know, one of the videos towards the end. He's looking like Will Smith, Mike Lowry in like Bad Boys. He has like the same outfit on. Like he even has like a bulletproof vest.
It's oh God, what is it? I know what you're talking about. It's the it's not Imaginary Players, the one that comes after that.
Yeah, I think the one after that. You know.
So what was that?
Like
Streets is Watching, the title track.
Was it Streets is Watching?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, you know, like him standing in front of the thing, just rapping. That's the extent of the production of the videos for the most part. But, you know, it's just one thing I want to say too, what's funny about this, these like even just it being basically a bunch of music videos, is this. To be Streets is Watching, you know, the movie, and then the Streets is Watching soundtrack, the songs you hear on the Streets is Watching soundtrack, some of them are in there. You know, I think a good handful, but most of the videos are from like volume 1. You know, it's really in my lifetime, volume 1, the movie.
Right, with vignettes featuring songs from the Streets is Watching soundtrack and bonus videos from Reasonable Doubt and prior with audio commentary by Dame Dash.
Right.
It doesn't... It's just, if you want to talk about last week you were saying Judgment Night didn't know what it wanted to be. I mean, you want to talk about something not knowing what it wants to be.
Well, this is worse because it's like, I feel like at least that one had ideas about what it wanted to be, but it couldn't settle on one. This movie, quote, movie, feels like it had no idea. And they just like came to the set, if you know, and was like, let's just like do something. Like we making a movie.
Now, this is a direct to VHS at the time, you know, straight to VHS video. And I guess, you know, people have a fondness for this because of the music videos, but you can't sit here and tell me it's a good movie. The movie, it would be like if you went to see, what's a movie that everyone knows? Titanic, right? So you went to see Titanic, and right when the shit is about to hit the iceberg, they just skip to James Cameron talking about how he made Titanic. And you never find out what happens to Leonardo DiCaprio and Billy Zane and Kate Winslet and
my boy Billy was in that. And that's a good Billy. Billy Zane, much greater than Billy Boards. Billy Boards is a scum of the earth, but Billy Zane, bro, his performance in Demon Knight, Oscar worthy. He was great in The Mummy.
Yeah, well, he's the main bad guy in Titanic.
Yeah,
I gotta say, while we're here, you know, since this wasn't much of a movie, I thought I'd talk about some other movies today too.
No, it's all about other movies.
You got anything else?
No, not really. I only had a few more things to say, really. I mean, they're not even things to say. It's just like observations. But I mean, you can talk.
All right, you know? So some movies. Okay. So
well, I mean, I thought you actually had some movies to talk about. You about to think of some movies?
No, I'm you know, I thought you were gonna do your last spiel. I was gonna get a little stack together.
I want to hear. I don't want to talk about.
No, do your little spiel.
I want to hear. I'll talk about any other movies. This is not a movie.
Do your spiel.
It's not a movie, dog.
I'll get a stack together. I'll be back in about a minute.
Ain't that what Jay say though? This ain't a movie, dog.
It is.
Couldn't be more correct, Jay. I wish I had that soundbite because it'd be the most appropriate maybe in the show's history.
So yeah, let me get some movies. Let me grab the movies off the shelf and just and let them know the last of your thoughts.
All right. Well, what cracks me up, the audacity, is film starts and it's like it goes through like the intro credits and it's like starring and they cycle through pictures of everyone. like a freaking Windows Movie Maker slideshow. It's like Jay-Z, it's a picture of Jay-Z. Like Dame Dash, a picture of Dame Dash. And apparently there was a director of photography here, but it makes all the more sense that it was literally someone by the name of Chuck E. Cheese. So if you want to know why this movie is what it is, it's because the director of photography was Chuck E. Cheese. Apparently there was casting here. I feel like they could just grab people off the street. So whoever got paid for casting ran off with a bag. All right. Yeah, friend or foe was a good part. You mentioned already that like the little porn interlude, it's like literally it got finished and I said out loud, what was the point of that? And I'm nasty Mel, so I'm always here for that stuff, but I'm like, it serves no purpose. It's just like, now don't get me wrong, the segment is like a 10 but it doesn't make sense. Doesn't need to be here. It's ridiculous. It's like, it's legitimate like porn, bro. Like there are full frontal close-ups of vagina in this movie. Okay, like it's insane. There are a lot of killings, as Young Thug would say, a lot of killings going on in this. Jay-Z and Dame, they shoot a lot of people. Imaginary Players was one of the good segments too. I like the song, but that was a good video. At least there was a bit of a narrative in that video. Maybe the worst video was the Face Off video. That was a waste of time. Some I wouldn't even say good acting, but during the Friend or Foe, I think 98, the dude that's in the bed he makes some of the best facial expressions in the entire film. Maybe I've seen in my entire life. I can't wait to get some gifts out of this. The You Must Love Me video, one of my favorite songs on Volume 1. I gotta say, I don't think it was supposed to be comedic, but it was, because the part with the guy in the hospital bed, he's like staring at the camera forlornly, and you see like the carton of milk on the table in the hospital, and it was funny to me. I laughed. Wasn't supposed to, I don't think, but I did. And yeah, that's pretty much the thing. It's just, folks, this is all I gotta say. If you want to watch a Jay-Z movie, if you think that's what you're getting, you'll be disappointed. If you want to watch a bunch of Jay-Z music videos, then Streets is Watching is the thing for you. 6+ for me. That's all I gotta say.
No?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, hold on, let me get those headphones plugged back in.
This man unplugged me.
Well, no, I had my headphones unplugged and my mic on mute, so I could hear what you were saying while I was getting these movies.
Okay. What'd you get?
I got some movies, but real quick, yeah, You Must Love Me video. I don't know. I don't think it does the song justice.
It doesn't.
Just him sitting in like the church pew.
The sitting in the church pew, sitting in like this throne.
It's just
like he looks sufficiently solemn, like he's selling the song, but the video doesn't sell the song.
And the thing is that, to me, at least, like that video kind of exposed the formula of these majority of these videos.
Exactly.
Like the one
this
establishing
is really no
shot
different than the other videos.
No, it's just the one establishing shot. So it's going to be him in the church pew, cut with footage where they can like do some Dutch angles and some music videoery to him sitting in the throne.
Music videoery.
And you blend that with the, I guess, who's supposed to be playing his mom in the video.
I guess.
So, yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to say. I mean, this is hardly a movie. Really. Hardly a freaking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I got some real movies here.
You got some real movies, I guess. You want to talk about these?
I just want to give some movie recommendations.
All right.
If you guys want to see a movie or several movies that have beginnings, middles, and ends, these are going to be right up your alley.
All right.
Okay. You've maybe seen some of these, Mel, but not all of them.
Okay.
Let me grab this last one off the shelf right here. Okay. All right. So some of these are music themed, some are not. We got some movies here for you guys because you got to watch something else this week. Something other than this. Okay? So we got some movies. What should I go through first? The music stuff? We'll start there.
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do the music. All right. So this is a musical right here.
All right.
From the 80s, starring Rick Moranis.
It's Ricky Moore.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Moore. It's Little Shop of Horrors.
Nice.
Classic
never
musical.
Seen it. Heard a lot about it, never seen it.
It's a cult classic, you know?
I've heard.
And if you guys want to see Seymour, the plant that eats people, and hear some fun tunes, Little Shop of Horrors. Recommend it.
Okay.
Also, we got right here from the 80s, a year later, 1987, we got Prince. Sign O' the Times.
Sign of the Times. That's what you're going to say. Never seen, of course, I've seen Purple Rain, you know, but heard a lot about that Sign of the Times. Have I? No, I'm thinking of something else. Under the Cherry Moon. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Remember that 3 Chainz O Gold?
3 Chainz of Gold, yeah. From
I got that. Didn't watch it, but I skimmed it.
Only you put together all the little disparate pieces that we found.
Yeah, and I sent it to you. I've yet to watch it as a whole movie, but I've seen a bit of it.
That also
looks like some nonsense, but you know it's Prince, so
it's that good nonsense though.
Right.
This is not nonsense. This is. It says on the back here, Prince and his band bring his Grammy-nominated album of the year, Sign of the Times, to life in one of the greatest concert films ever made. I agree. This groundbreaking movie is punctuated with specially filmed dramatic vignettes and captures Prince at the peak of his musical powers. I agree. This is really good. Prince Sign of the Times from his 1987 Sign of the Times tour. It's my favorite Prince album. So if you want to see a good concert film, I think it's on YouTube also. So you can check that out. This right here is a classic. Mel has seen it, but I figured because of the announcement recently of their retirement, I would bring up, if you've never seen it before, the animated house musical, Interstellar 5555, the story of the secret the secret star system, rather. And it is a
classic, shoulda went triple.
Classic, shoulda went triple. It is the Daft Punk album Discovery, which is far and away their best album, if you ask me.
Also, classic, shoulda went triple, but I hated that it took me so long to watch this. Moulz had me watch it, I think 2017, maybe 2018.
I mean, it's just...
Maybe 2016, I don't know.
Let me put it this way. I really don't like anime. So the fact that I'm even co-signing this is a testament to how good it is. And, you know, Discovery by Daft Punk is one of my favorite albums of all time in any genre. Like, it has 0 skips for me. But this is, to me, if you have never heard the full album Discovery by Daft Punk, this is the way to go to hear it for the first time.
It's good. It's good, folks.
I mean, the movie
good.
Presents, basically the album just plays straight through, while there is a story that's being told through the animations, not just music videos scattered about. It's a real story that's being told, and it's a great story about the music industry and why it sucks. So,
yeah,
great movie. Highly recommend it. One of my favorite movies, probably, because it's one of my favorite albums, and the movies, I mean, just elevates it that much more. All right, and finally, on the music tip, if you like what the fuck are their names? Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, highly recommend Jersey Boys, the musical. This is how you do a good musical, folks. All right, you get good songs. That's the backbone of a good musical.
So I highly recommend Jersey Mike's, the musical, starring Aubrey Drake Graham.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. or 2 weeks ago, perhaps. But either
2
way,
weeks, I don't remember. 2 weeks. Yeah, that one. 2 weeks.
Listen, it's a classic, iconic group, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Come on, the hits from "Oh What a Night" to that "Sherry." Okay, Big Girls Don't Cry, Walk Like a Man.
Fergie?
I mean, listen. No, Big Girls Don't Cry.
Yeah, Fergie.
Girls Don't Cry. Anyway.
I hope you know that this is nothing to do with you.
This ain't no Fergie.
We got some straightening out to do, and I'm gonna miss you like a child misses their blanket, but I gotta get a move on with my life. Here we go. Big girls don't cry.
I'm watching our weekly listeners go right back down to where they were before the MF Doom episode. So there's
Look,
that.
they hating on Fergie. Is that what they're doing? You telling me that's what they're doing?
Jersey boys, guys. None of that Fergie
Well, no, I got a special message from Jersey Boy if you hating on Fergie. It's a long one, but this is for y'all.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Listen, you could debate and analyze. You could go on ESPN.com /message boards / we don't give a shit. And you could comment on there.
That's where you could go. Comment on there, because Fergie is respected here at Rap Rankings. Macy Gray's respected. Fergie's respected.
Macy Gray
These are respected
is not
individuals.
Respected. Fergie,
Yes, she is.
We'll see.
Mel covers the respect qualification for Macy Gray. Who cares about Moulz? All right.
Well, listen, be that as it may, we got another one. I think you've seen this one too. This is Stalag 17.
Have I seen it?
It's the escape from
Sounds
the
like
Nazi...
that daggone gulag everyone talks about.
Oh,
days.
it is. It's the escape from the Nazi gulag. Remember? They try to... But, it's a POW.
POC?
No, POW.
AOC?
POW. Prisoner of War. Not Passion of the Weiss. Prisoner of War. Okay? So, these Nazis, you've heard of them. They got
people.
They got my homies, my people, the Jews, locked up, and the Jews are like, get the fuck out of this concentration camp bullshit.
Yeah,
and they want to sneak out. And you got to see his great movie Stalag 17. I think Billy Wilder directed it. He did. He made Sunset Boulevard, and pretty sure he made Double Indemnity. He's a great director. Stalag 17.
What is it?
Double Indemnity.
And what? Indemnity? Double and hold on, I'm gonna just Google it.
Double Indemnity.
Why would they make a word like that?
Because they never thought one day some guy who walks around giving Illmatic a 5 out of 10 and Jigga Kelly not guilty a 9 out of 10 would have trouble pronouncing it. It's the same reason why everybody calls them vignettes and they're not vignettes.
Listen, it looks like Vignette. I think it was fair that I was saying that. Ethereal, Vignette, Labyrinth, all of it. Mel was right, okay?
No, Mel was right. Wrong. He was wrong.
No, now let me look. I'm on Google. Let me see. Indemnity.
Yeah.
Double indemnity.
It's not. They didn't make up that word for the movie. Indemnity has to do with insurance claims, which is something.
Noun: security or protection against a loss or other financial burden. Yeah, why do they call it double insurance?
You got to watch the movie to find out.
Listen, they got me over here saying indemnity sounding like Pelosi talking about.
And then the next step, the whatever you want to call it, the trial.
Whatever you want to call it, double. It's Dubbo, the movie.
So we got one with the star of next week's film, Training Day.
Denzel?
Yep, this one is from 1995. It's directed by Carl Franklin, and it's called Devil in a Blue Dress.
Much better than that Devil in a Red Dress that they hype up ever since 2010.
Highly underrated film right here, a neo-noir.
Glad you said noir.
Yes. Guys, you haven't seen Devil. If you haven't seen Devil in a New Dress, Or I'm sorry, Devil in a Blue
See
Dress.
see what I'm saying? That movie, bad news.
They got me moving crazy out here. No, Devil in a Blue Dress, amazing movie for 1995. And you want to know who honestly steals the show in this one?
Who that is?
None other than my man Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle,
his first major role in this film. So check it out, Devil in a Blue Dress, 1995. All right.
Shout out to him, and I gotta take this opportunity to say rest in peace to my grandma, because Don Cheadle was one of her favorite actors, and she would call him Don Cheadle.
Well, shout out to Don Cheadle.
You know, Don Cheadle, you're good. You're good in the Marvel movies. You're good in what's that one movie that like? You're good in Rush Hour. You know, you're good in everything. I've never not liked a Don Cheadle role. So,
hey, Hotel Rwanda, come on, man. He brought the emotional.
Wait, that was him?
Hotel Rwanda, yeah, man.
No, that was somebody else, right?
No, it was Don Cheadle.
No, hold on. See, listen, you about to get exposed as a racist.
No, you're about to get exposed as the real racist, just like.
Oh
Billy
wait,
Boyd
you're right.
said.
It is Don Cheadle. Hey, Mel.
And you ain't black.
All right, we got 3 more movies.
Okay.
All right, this next one, This is another film noir, but it's not a neo noir. This is from one of the original run of film noir. They didn't know what they were making. They didn't know it was fucking film noir. They were all depressed, just like Moulz Mel.
they were just making films.
They were like, fuck, it's fucking dark out here, just like my life.
You say we make a movie.
What is it, 1949? It's called Gun Crazy. Okay, you guys know Bonnie and Clyde, right?
I guess, yeah.
This is the original Bonnie and Clyde movie. They don't play Bonnie and Clyde, but it was the first movie inspired by Bonnie and Clyde. And it's a good film noir that you can check out right now. Gun Crazy.
Oh my! Ow! Oh.
Did the goat kick you?
No, the goat did not kick me. The goat's been chilling. Me and him have a bond now. No, I was resting my freaking ankle on the space heater, and the space heater tipped over, and that would have been embarrassing if I would have broke something.
We got 2 more movies coming up.
I'm gonna injure myself. Streets is watching. I can't injure myself during the review. That's worse than Drake like tearing his meniscus living out his basketball dreams. If I break my ankle while recording a podcast, that's the lamest thing.
Just retire from public life at all. It's completely.
Oh God. Okay. What were you saying?
We got 2 more films coming up.
Okay.
This one, I actually watched this one last night to get the taste of Streets is Watching out of my mouth. My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, I know about that one. You know why I know about that one? Because they did a parody of it in that show, Community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You said the Simpsons show?
No,
they
did maybe the Simpsons. They do everything,
okay.
You know?
They do everything.
All right. Growing up, I'd always seen this maybe at the video store or I heard of it. I always thought it was about Andre the Giant. Like, someone went to dinner with Andre the Giant, and, like, he's a giant, you know? And it's like, this meal is good. And he's eating and drinking, and he's big. But no. In fact, Andre is one of the characters in this film. It was not actually a guy named Andre. So I used to think this was a documentary about a man who went out to dinner with Andre the Giant.
Okay.
It's not about that. It's about a guy who is meeting up.
No, don't spoil it. They might want to see it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I'm just going to tell you what it's about.
Oh, okay.
It's about a guy who's meeting up with a friend of his that he hasn't seen in many years. I'm talking like 20 or 30 years. He's avoided this person for 20 or 30 years, even though they're friends. And
is this movie about Jay and Dame?
No. But this film is pretty much the entirety of the film is them out to dinner with each other in this conversation. So there are other actors in the film, other players, if you will. I mean, they are out at a restaurant, so there's like a waiter and stuff. But this is a chamber piece with really 2 actors performing for pretty much the entirety of the film together. And that brings me to my last selection and / recommendation.
All right.
I recommended this to you as well, privately, Mel.
Okay.
I'm not taking it off the shelf, so I'm going to have to look at... Okay, it's called The Caller.
Okay. Is it about Jesse Fairfax?
It's not. And it's also not about Cam is Like.
Oh, okay.
It's with Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. And Vinegar Syndrome is the company that released it. That's how I ended up seeing this film for the first time. I'll read their description of it because I don't want to say anything more than what they're willing to say.
All right.
Lest I mess up and maybe give something away. So it says, on a cold winter night, a woman living alone in the middle of the woods receives an unexpected visitor, a mysterious middle-aged man who asks to use her phone. Obliging the stranger, it soon becomes apparent that they might know more about each other than they're letting on. As hours and then days pass, the two become engaged in a series of bizarre and sinister mind games, uncovering unnerving secrets along the way. All the while, the ongoing confrontation begs the question of what mysterious events are transpiring in the nearby woods.
Man,
That's
what?
It's all I can read to you without giving anything else away. But it's a movie where it's another one that's sort of a chamber piece in the sense that it's mainly two actors. This one is more of a thriller, though, like a cat and mouse sort of thing. My Dinner with Andre is more character study, interpersonal relationship sort of deal, observational humor, things like that. This is borderline a horror movie. So I highly recommend it, though. I mean, like, I did not see the direction it was going at all. So, yeah, a bunch of movies. The Caller, My Dinner with Andre, Gun Crazy, Devil in a Blue Dress, Stalag 17, Jersey Boys, Interstellar 5555, Prince, Sign of the Times, and Little Shop of Horrors, just to name a few.
So these are all movies that they should watch instead of Streets is watching.
Yes.
Okay. Well, can't say I...
Or you could watch next week's film, Training Day, starring Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke.
Well, save that for save that spiel for when the music comes back. Speaking of which, are we like done here? I mean, listen, it's not a movie. It's not a movie.
It's not a movie, dog.
It's not a movie, dog. It's a bunch of music videos. And if you like Jay-Z, you might want to check it out. That's it. The whole thing could have been that. That could have been the review. But we didn't want to leave y'all, with a bad...
We're at the movies.
We're at the movies. So we had to give you...
And of course, this is one of the best hip-hop movies, right? Right?
No, not right.
Right? That's
not
what
right
you guys think, right?
Listen, it's not right.
Guys,
Listen.
if the last 2 weeks have shown us anything, you can't just say things that you read. You got to do the research yourself.
Listen, if anybody tells you Judgment Night soundtrack is great, if anybody tells you Streets is watching one of the best hip-hop movies, I want you to look them right in the eye and say this.
Bullshit.
Okay? That's what I want you to do. Yeah, are we done here?
Yeah, I mean, it's time to do this soundtrack now, and hopefully / knowingly it will do better.
We've heard it, obviously, so we know what's coming up, but they don't.
Well, they know the third member is coming up.
Do they? I guess they do if they looked at the episode description.
Well, no, we've talked about it several times in part 1.
I mean, we did, but
Right,
they could also find that information in the description. Well, listen, I guess we should get there. You want me to hit the music?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Next week on Moulz Mel at the Movies, it's back to watching real movies again with Moulz Mel. as we take on the hit film Training Day, starring Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. Man, I remember seeing that movie. It filled me with so much joy, excitement, and thrills. And this week, we'll have a chance to see it again, so we can come next week to discuss it right here on Moulz Mel at the Movies. That's right, the projection reels are rolling again as movies have officially returned to Rap Rankings.
Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.